Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I had a hard time getting it to start for some reason. Not exactly sure why. For some reason, it told me that it needed me to turn it to vertical for some reason. I don't know. We're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. So glad that you guys were able to make it. Whew, my goodness gracious. I have my coffee in tow. I have myself tuned in. I have an ad. Sorry if you guys have an ad. Not exactly sure what that's about. But hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and scroll down so I can see the chat. Give me one moment. There we go. Okay, hello, Deb and Nikki and Kathy and Trish and Lainey. Hello to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Yvette. It always starts with an ad. I hate when that happens. My goodness gracious. You finished your Oasis. That's so awesome. Congratulations to those of you guys who were able to complete your Wildflower Oasis. Hello, Denise and Tammy. And hello, Tracy. Crochet Rocks is here. Hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. And we have Cynthia and Brian. Hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. So glad to see you. Hello, Lakeside. How are you? So glad that you're able to make it. Your star is red, Val. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so grateful, guys. Thank you so much. I had an eventful day, but a good one nonetheless. I have bunches and bunches of things to show you guys, but if you guys remember, it's Tuesday, so the Tuesday challenge. Last week I was on vacation, so I couldn't really do anything, but this time around, we're doing the things. So I have to show you what I made the last time we met, and we need to go forward with what the next challenge is for the week. So if you're new to this, every Tuesday, for the last few Tuesdays anyway, I put out a Tuesday challenge, and every week we do it a little differently. So the first week I believe we used the wheel. The second week we used the jar. This week we may do a combination of things. So if you guys remember last week, we had three, or the week before, my apologies. The week before we had three choices. And you could pick any one of the three. You could do one, you could do two, or all three. Did not matter. I'm wondering how many of you guys are wondering like how many I did out of the three. Did I do one of the challenges? Did I do two? Or did I do all three? Very curious to know what you guys think. But yeah, so let's see. Yvette says two. Jess says three. Donna says three. Lainey says two. Teresa says two. Cozy with Layla says all three. Okay. So I'll just, Spring says three. Hello, Spring. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. So because I was on vacation, I obviously didn't get a chance to do all three. I could say that the members only pattern that I created was the third one, but that's a cop out. That was for something else. So I have two out of the three completed from the last time. So I will show you what I created, the two projects of the three. Some are saying that the mandala that I created for the members only pattern could count, but I don't know. It's fine. I'm not counting it as one of the three. So anyway, before we get into that, I have some things that I want to share with you guys. I'm very happy to share with you that I have a finished object that just cannot wait until the podcast because I would like to roll the tutorial out onto the channel, but as always, I have issues naming projects. I don't know why that is. It's just my Achilles heel. It's the thorn in my side. I could never name my projects. I can create patterns and designs and things like that, but tell me to give it a name, I'm lost. I'm lost in the woods. So as you guys know, it is Pride Month, and I did create a shawl for Pride Month. Last year I did a blanket with a bunch of the rainbow squares. This year it's a shawl. I just can't figure out an appropriate name for it, because I want this to be able to be made all year long. So, and I want everyone to be able to make it. So thank you so much, Andrew, for gifting the membership, and congratulations to Gwen for winning the membership. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but just in case, let me show you. It is a triangular shawl, and it's pretty heavy. So here it is. It took 3 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre and Anthracite, and then just 1 row of the rainbow colors. So let me just show you this. So here it is. It's pretty big. It took 3 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and I placed my colors in the row with the windows. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Just the classic rainbow colors. I didn't have space or room to put all the other colors. So if you decide to make this and you want to do it in this fashion and you want to add the other colors, by all means, add whatever you want. But I need a name for this. I have no idea what to call this. So if anybody out there can help me, I would greatly appreciate it. Of course, I will notate where the name came from. And the thing about it is, you know, you don't have to put the colors here if you don't want. You could put just Red Heart Super Saver Anthracite, or you could put whatever colors you want in the windows. Colors in the windows, I'm not sure. I'm really bad at naming projects, but it's a really awesome repeat. Let me just, let me see, hold on. I saw a name. Hold on. Let me scroll down. I thought I saw it. So it's got a really awesome repeat where we're doing trebles 2 rows down. It's so much fun. So if you guys could, if you're so inclined to help me name this, if you could just shoot me an email at juantheyarnaddict@gmail.com, and I'll write down the list of names and I'll come up with a decision. My mind is just so bogged with all the things. So there's just, I gotta finish sewing that in, I guess. But yeah. And it's pretty heavy. It's 3 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. And the colors here, I actually pulled from Stash. So I tried to find like the brightest of the colors. Even the purple, like, you know, I like the really, really dark purple. But, well, that is kind of dark. It's still kind of dark, but try it on? Sure. Of course I will. Let me just, and it's pretty big. Look how big this is. It's huge. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the things. So there it is in all of its glory. Should I do the little rock? Should I rock a little bit and just do this? Model in place. It's very big. I feel like a burrito. I feel like the innards of a burrito, and this is the burrito wrap. That's how big it is. I've never really put this many rows onto a shawl before, but yeah. Okay. So again, if you could, just shoot me an email, let me know, and please don't send me an email telling me, oh yeah, name it the burrito shawl. I'm just gonna delete that right away because yes. Oh, the burrito shawl, can you imagine? Okay, so let's see. What about the indigo shawl? Well, by all means, shoot me the email, juantheyarnaddict@gmail.com. I'm going to write them all down, and we may discuss a way forward. I can't put out the tutorial until I figure out the name, and it's got a really turn the light bulb on. So if I'm sitting on a maybe, then it's not it. Okay. And hello, Trisha. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Huge hugs to you. The second thing that I need to show you guys that I need a name for, yes, I have another shawl that needs a name. I need to roll the tutorial out. So on Crochet with JTYA on Sunday, we had a poll, and I mentioned, which one you guys wanted a tutorial on. It's still there. I think almost 800 people cast their vote, and a nice chunk of you guys wanted a triangular shawl, a triangular granny shawl with stitches in it. And so I created it. It's almost done, and I pushed myself outside my boundaries, guys. I think you guys would be super proud of me. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome in. I used fuzzy hairy yarn. It's something I never thought I would do. I used the fuzzy hairy yarn. And at first, I winced. And I'm crocheting, and I'm like, I cannot believe I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the people who are watching me because I think they want to see me push myself outside of my comfort zone. And I continued on, and I continued on. And guess what? It wasn't so bad. I actually enjoyed it. It's gonna like snow right now. Fuzzy hairy yarn. All right, so this is the yarn. So this is Caron Colorama Halo, and the colorway is Sea and Sky. And it's still attached to the project, but this is the yarn that I used. And I used a 6mm crochet hook. And yeah, I'm shook. Guys, you know me. I would never, ever use hairy fuzzy yarn because I'm like, ooh, get it away from me, get it away from me. But I wanted to push myself because how am I supposed to tell people to push themselves and try different things if I'm not willing to do that? So yeah, I pushed myself, and I think you guys will be really happy to see what I created. Now, before I show you this, it is triangular, but I took the triangle and made it a little wider like this because I don't know about you, but that point kind of bothers me. The steeper that point is, no. So I went ahead and made it wider and less steep, if that makes any sense. So here it is. We need a name for this, by the way. Okay, that's why I'm showing it to you now. We need a name for this. So here it is. In all of its glory, we have the granny stitch. We have a stabilizing row, windows, and then a stabilizing row. Just showing you all the things. And as you can see, it's not as steep, which I guess makes it tolerable, right? So like, it's not so bad being able to wear this. And I have to tell you guys something. You ready for this? Are you sitting down? You ready? I started this last night and I'm almost finished. It works up very fast. There's tons of windows, as you can see. And then it's the granny stitch. So I tried looking all over the internet to see if this exact pattern is already out there. I didn't see it anywhere. It doesn't matter. I don't own the stitches. We don't own the stitches. There's no copyright on double crochets or no copyright on like windows. So I went ahead and just put them together the way I wanted to put them together. And we're going to go ahead and give this a name. And, so yeah, you guys have been following the journey. So, we talked about it on a live, you guys voted, and this is what I came up with. Okay. So again, we need a name or else I can't put the tutorial out. Okay, so I have to tell you something. I originally had a name. I wanted to name this. So, okay, I'm going around in circles here. I used to call my grandmother Nan. And instead of like, Graham or, grandmother, we would all call her Nan. And so even though her first name was Emily, all of us grandkids called our grandmother Nan. And I was going to call this the Nanny's Nook shawl, but I don't know. I just really love this pattern and this design. I really don't think that the name Nanny's Nook shawl or Nan's Nook shawl is suitable for this. So it just didn't ring that bell. The light bulbs didn't go off. And I think that this may need another name. Something creative, something not ho-hum or blah, but it's timeless. I think that these stitches put together like this, it works up really, really nice. And thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to create this. I mean, because it was a lot of fun. So if I don't see any name suggestions, I'm just going to have to wait on releasing the tutorial until I figure out a name, because I can't release anything out there without a name. So yes, it does. I didn't want to age the shawl. I wanted something that didn't like put it in a box either, right? Dawn says the fuzzball shawl, right? Fuzzy Wuzzy. Trisha says simply timeless. I love that. That's actually really nice. Yes, and think about it like this. When you name something, and this is kind of why I have such an issue with it. When you go to name something, you can't tie it to a color. You can't tie it to anything too specific, because then it limits how many people have access to it. You know, so if you name it something like the Serenity Shawl, or, you know, something like that. Actually, that's a really nice name. The Serenity Shawl. It's probably used already, that name. I don't know. But yeah, the Serenity Shawl could potentially be a name if it's not already taken, but that's kind of where I'm going with it, you know? Anyway, so Lanny says she's getting sleepy. Oh my. You need some coffee, Lanny? Here you go. Oh, so good. Blue Hawaii. That's beautiful. Wilma's Wonders. That's another thing too. Like, if I'm going to name something after my mother, it should be like my Mr. Holland's Opus. It's got to be like, you know, because that's my mom, you know. So that's going to have to be something like the Wildflower Oasis on Hyper Overdrive. Something like, that's my stamp, that's my mother, you know. Anyway, nice idea. I appreciate it. Hi, Dora. Welcome in. The Contemplation Shawl offers a space of reflection, the sky and the sea. I love that. I'm writing that down right now. That's beautiful. And another idea, another thing is, if you offer me a name and I keep it on a list, I may pull from that list later on. So anyway. Lamar says, beautiful boy. I love that. Tony Lipsy has a shawl named Serenity Shawl. Well, thank you for looking. Stroll in the Moonlight. That's beautiful too. Memories of an Old Shawl. Oh, that's beautiful. Somewhere in Time. See, these are wonderful names that I don't think of when I create. I'm just worried about my stitch counts, making sure that everything falls into place. That's kind of where my mind goes. I don't really think about, well, what should I call this? It doesn't happen that way for me, you know? Anyway, I'll take any and all suggestions at wantheyarnaddict@gmail.com. And if I use your name, of course, I will give you the shout out. I will let everyone know where I got the name from. Okay? So there is that. Now I have to show you guys my makes from Tuesday. You guys ready for this? I know we're only 20 minutes in, but we have to pick and choose the projects for the week. Excuse me. This coffee's making me do all weird things with my burping. Okay, so the two projects, right? I don't know if you've seen them, but you can kind of see down here. All right, so I have to tell you, the one project was to create a make using the color purple. Monochromatic, any color purple. The second one was a basket, I believe, right? So here are my makes. A purple basket. So this is my first one, and this is the yarn that I have left. Oh wow, thank you so much, Nisi. Huge hugs to you, 7 months. That's amazing. Wow. So this is Woolies Thick and Quick. And this is the yarn that I have left over. And what I did was I took the beginning of the skein and the end of the skein, and I used a 9mm crochet hook, and I created a basket. Now, this is no usual basket. This is going to be my hooker basket. So I'm going to put my crochet hooks in here and sit this on my desk. So that's the first one. And you know me, it's so nice you got to do it twice. So I went ahead and made another basket, but in another color. And this is the other part of the challenge, which is like make a basket, right? So I did a 2 for here, but then I felt guilty. I'm like, I double dipped on this one. Let me just make another basket in another color. So I went ahead and made another one. So again, this here is this is Hometown USA yarn, and I have to tell you, it's a lot thicker and more dense. Like, I took the beginning of the skein and the end of the skein and ran it with a 9mm hook, and I used my my Diddy bag tutorial to make this. So if you're wanting to know how to start a basket, go to that tutorial, and that's how you do it. So Penny says, it looks like an acorn. It kind of does, doesn't it? So anyway, yes, very nice. And then, okay, I can tell you guys because it's fine. So I took 4 strands of Loops and Thread Soft Classic in brown and ran, because I ran out of yarn. It didn't have enough yarn to finish this. So I took 4 strands of Loops and Thread Soft Classic in brown and ran that top layer there. So if you ever wondered, super bulky number 6, it's 4 strands of a medium 4-weight yarn, and it's the exact thickness. 4 strands. And that's the inside. And again, maybe one will be for my knitting needles and one will be for my crochet hooks. So we shall see. Those are my projects. That was what I accomplished for the week. Now, mind you, I've done shawls. I've done, you know, my whips. I've been working on my whips. So anyway, I have to gift this. I don't really care for this. This is a Knit Pro 6mm crochet hook. That's got to go into a giveaway. I keep moving it across the desk. I'm like, giveaway, giveaway, and then I pick it up and put it back in the cup because it's in my way. So yeah, we have to take care of that. Anyway, yes. So there is that. Now, for the challenge for the week, I typically pick 3 projects, and you can do one, you could do both, you could do all 3, and feel free to show them off, you know, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, hashtag JTYA, however you want to do it. Just show me your work. I absolutely love seeing you guys create things with the challenge. And it's literally just a palette cleanser in between all the other projects you guys have going on. So these projects are not meant to be those kinds of projects where it takes forever to get done. It's the type of projects where, let me just get this on the hook and off the hook while I'm watching a movie. Or, you know, let me just take a break from this intense project and jump on something fun, and then I can go back to my other project. So that's kind of what it's for. Hello to the Hue Therapist. Thank you so much for popping in here. I appreciate you. Like a blanket, right, Trisha? Oh my goodness. So I have to tell you guys will see this on the podcast, but look at this blanket. So this here is my Luck of the Draw number 11, and I have to put week 6 on it, but these multicolors are all the things. These are all their new ones, and if I had the time, I would literally sit here and just continue crocheting this. But, you know, We have to wait for Thursdays to come around to continue on with the project. So yes, anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to feed the jar. So if there's any projects that you guys would like to see in the jar, now's the time to sound off. We get to put them in the jar, and then we're going to draw 3 tickets. So I have my pink Post-it notes, and I grabbed a hook like it's an ink pen. Oh, here it is. Anyway, what would you guys like to create for the week? Let's put it in the jar. Sound off. I'm not going to be able to get all of you guys because 2 hands and my eyes, you know. I'll go as fast as I can. All right. Cotton towels. Okay. 1 per slip, a scarf. Okay. Hi, Pen. Welcome in. Philip says a cap, like a beanie, or let me set that to the side because a bag. Didn't we already make a bag? A dog sweater, a newsboy cap. I'll write that down there. Okay. A sun hat, a bandana. That's one that I don't have in the jar. A bandana. Okay. Pot holders. Okay. I like that one. Pot holders. See, that's the kind of project that like you can get on the hook and get off the hook, you know? A beret. Okay, got that. A scarf with pockets. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what a lampion is. Can anyone tell me what that is? A lampion? Amigurumi. I like that one. Not everyone will do that one though, but let's see. A set of coasters. Set of coasters. That's great to work on with cotton. If you have a cotton stash, that's great. Let's see. A visor for a cap. Okay. I'm glad that no one is suggesting a blanket. Let's make a blanket in a week. I mean, I totally could do that, but that means everything else would have to come off the hook. Let's see, a necktie. Okay, hello to you, Aaron. I think I have pocket shawl in the jar already, Trish. A cross body bag. That's great. Cross body bag. Okay. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome in. Let me pick another color. I don't want them all to be pink. You guys know how much I love that color. A crochet vest. Okay. Now, it could be labor intensive, but it could work out, you know. A cell phone bag. Okay. What else do we have here? A drawstring bag. I think we had that and I put it back in the jar. Let's see. Let's see. A forget-me-not square. That's nice. Forget-me-not square. And that's a flower with 5 petals, if you guys are wondering. A forget-me-not has 5 petals. So, hi, Jaxie. Work. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. That's so cool. Let's see here. A table runner, it's in there. I do have it. Every week, someone or 2 or 5 or 10 suggests a table runner. Love that. The only thing is I don't know if it can be done in a week. You know, a cotton bowl cozy. Okay. For those of you guys that are just coming in, we're adding projects to the jar. You know, and it's got to be something that we can create in a week. A doily. Okay. Something that's not labor intensive, something that we can get on and off the hook as like a breather in between all of our other projects. Let's see, a dream catcher. Okay. I would call that like a lacy mandala. Like I made one of those already, but we can put like beads and things in it and feathers. That's fun. A tablet cover. Sanaida says tablet cover. Okay, love that. Headband is in the jar. I know that for sure. Val suggests an ornament. Okay. These are great ideas, guys. Let's see. A scrunchie. Okay. That's like a 5-minute project. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Samantha Stewart suggests a blanket. Now, didn't I tell you someone was going to say a blanket? And it had to be you, Samantha. Hello to you. And a blanket is off the table. No blanket for the weekly challenge because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be pressured into making a blanket in a week. Let's see. A JTYA designed hat and scarf set. Okay. I like that. Hat and scarf. Okay. A market bag, a mini monkey bag. Okay. Okay. Market bag, mini. Let's do that. Market bag mini. I actually like that idea. That's quick. Dish towels, I know is in the jar. Hanger cover. I don't know if I put that in the jar. Hanger cover. Okay. These are amazing ideas, guys. Okay. So I just saw someone mention a poncho. Question. Is a poncho able to be done in a week? The vast majority? I mean, I don't know, because sometimes, depending on the poncho, it may take longer than a week. Could a poncho get done in a week? Okay, let's do it. Poncho. I have to tell you, I have this poncho. It's called the Wancho poncho. It's been in timeout for like a year. We need to get that out of timeout. Let's see. Pillow cover. Pillow cover. So snowman would go under amigurumi. Okay. Pillow cover. Hello, Lois. Welcome in. I didn't see you come in. Hello to you. She says a shoe bag. Okay. A shoe bag. Okay. Cherry says a baby blanket. See, I can accept a baby blanket because they're fairly small. So a baby blanket. They're fun to make, by the way. Baby blankets, they're quick. Tank says a kitchen appliance cover. Okay. Appliance cover. Project bag wristlet. Like the Diddy bag, but smaller. I like that. Diddy bag. Okay. Beth says, yes, Juan. Where's Wancho Poncho? So Wancho Poncho has been in timeout for about a year because it's one of those Mr. Holland's Opus projects. My name is going on the project, and it's got to be the best of the best of the best. I've got my favorite colors on it. I got my favorite stitches on it, and only less than a handful of people have seen it. And I just keep going back, and I'm like, I got to do better. I have to do the things, you know? So anyway, it's been a timeout because I'm being extra critical. I'm like, it's not good enough, you know? Anywho, let me go ahead and fold up all of these suggestions because you guys came through. You guys gave me at least 50 suggestions to add to what we already have in the jar. And by all accounts, we have quite a bit already in there. And out of all of these suggestions, we're only going to choose 3. So I should have been folding them as I've been writing them, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on any of the things, you know? So, so a cake sack. What do they call? There's another name for that. I can't remember what that is, Drax. What's the name for those? Is it a cake cozy? Is that the same thing or is it different? I can't, my brain just is not working. Cake cozy. Okay. Lots of things on the brain as of late. But thank you so much for these name suggestions. I think we're going to have a great challenge week. We want to make sure that we choose projects that are attainable. You know, we don't want to pick things that sound great, but in reality, they're never going to get done because they're too labor intensive, you know? We just want to have fun in between all of our projects. And maybe this is the only project you have on the hook or on the needles. And I received some emails from you guys about knit projects. Now, that's one of the reasons why I pick more than just one. Because, and by the way, if the projects that we pick are not flexible enough for a knitter to do, we will need to veto one and choose another project because, you know, I'm also on the knitting committee. Yes, I'm on Team Knit too, so we have to make sure that we give space for the knitters. And so the projects, there has to be at least one that caters to the knitters. All right, so let's be fair about that. We don't want all crochet projects. So, yes. Knit projects take a long time unless it's a dishcloth, right? I think I can get a dishcloth done in a week. So, all right, I folded everything up. This is what was already in the jar, by the way. All right, so now I'm adding all the things into this jar. Maybe I need my organza bag. Maybe there's too many. It's too much, right? Hold on. I think in one of these drawers I have a... Yeah, here it is. I have a secret stash of organza bags. Thanks to Janine for sending these to me. All right, so let me just go ahead and get these tickets out of the jar. I want every ticket to have a fair chance. There's one ticket. All right, actually, here it is. Okay, I don't want to miss any. There's one ticket in here that I wrote down 5 times that I'm hoping to not get. And it's the one where Think Pink, create a project all in pink. Beginning to end, everything has to be in pink. And I wrote 5 tickets and it's in the jar, well now in the bag. I wrote some in one color and some in the other color. Okay, so here's the things. We get 1 veto if we don't, 1 veto, and then if there's nothing that caters to knitters, we have the option to choose another one. Okay, so are we ready? Look at that. We should have been doing this organza bag since the beginning, right? We like seeing all the things bounce around. Okay, here it goes. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. It picked up 2, so I got to put it back. Okay, here's the first one. What is it? What is it? A market bag 4-weight. So, sorry, you guys are seeing that backwards. So the first challenge for the week is to make a market bag with a 4-weight yarn. Any 4-weight yarn, a market bag. Okay? Love that. That's great. I saw some of you guys suggest a market bag. So, yeah. All right, here goes the next one. Please, no Think Pink. Guys, you guys have to knock on wood with me. I do not want any projects Think Pink, okay? Please. No Think Pink projects. Okay, here it goes. Oh, it's stuck together. Here goes the next one. The next one is a bandana. Okay, so this next one, I guess, is another cotton project. I guess you can do this with acrylic too, right? Bandana. All right, and now the third one. Whoops. Okay, here it goes. Here's the third one. Please be good, please be good. The JTYA beanie. We had this one already, didn't we? Was it last week or the week before? I think it was was this last week or was this the week before? I think this was part of the first week. So this was last week or first week? Okay. So we're going to set this to the side. No repeats. No repeats for now, right? So we're not vetoing it. It's just, yeah, we already had that. All right, so let's go ahead and pick another one. Maybe this organza bag was a little too big. All right, here it goes. You guys ready? I'm nervous. Why did I pick the pink ticket? I have no idea. It says think pink. It says think pink, create and make only in pink. I was telling myself I did not want to get this ticket. There are 5 of them in the bag and we have 1. I don't know how to make this. Okay. My goodness gracious. Now I could veto this, but are you guys okay with this? So think pink, create and make only in pink. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to have to wear gloves. I'm going to have to hold tongs with my crochet hooks. I'm going to have to wear a mask. I'm going to have to do all the things. Wow. Okay, so we have market bag with a 4-weight yarn. We have think pink, create and make only in pink. And then a bandana. Now, I'm going to let you guys decide, should we veto one of these? And if so, which one should we veto? Or are we good with all 3 of these selections? You guys tell me, because are we good with all 3? No vetoes, all 3 are great? Okay, so there we go. Just because I like how, we do surprises and things. Should we pick a 4th one to give people more of an option, or is 3 enough? Tell me what you guys think. Should we pick a 4th one, just in case? We love options. We love choices, right? Okay. So I'm seeing this. No. Yes. Veto bandana. 3 is enough choices. Why not? Okay, 4, 3. Okay, how about this? Why don't we do this? Let's keep 3 because that's how we discussed it, right? And for week 4, or for the 4th challenge, we'll pick 4 tickets next week. Or we will pick 4 options next week. Since this is like the 3rd one, we'll go ahead and, I think 3 is good. I don't want to confuse anybody, So, I mean, yeah. This middle one here, Think Pink, Create, Make Only in Pink, it's got me going through loops right now. Because I literally just thought to myself before going live tonight that, you know, I'm doing my mystery boxes. And so I'm going through my stash and things, and I'm finding more and more pink. Like different shades of pink. And I can't put them in the boxes because they've been used, obviously. So I need to do something with them. So now I have cause for using that yarn. I'll have to crack the windows open. I'm going to have to get an air purifier. I'm going to have to get gloves, a mask, maybe some PPE, personal protective equipment, with certain shades of the pink. It's all in good fun. I'm kidding. It's all in good fun. So just use a shade of pink you like. Well, see, that's not really much of a challenge. I do have pink that I just need to get rid of. Like this right here. It's everywhere. I have it in every room. Like that Victorian pink. I have this not musty, dusty rose. I have all the shades of pink. Jess, I did say PPE. Yep, I did. Okay, so let's just circle back for those of you guys who are just coming in. When I first started the live tonight, I showcased two projects. One is my Pride shawl. I need a name for it so that I can roll the tutorial out on the channel. It's not out as of yet because I can't figure out a name. And then we have this wonderful shawl here that I created with this fuzzy hairy yarn. And I'm going to continue going, even though it does fit. So this was what everyone voted for in the poll that's on my post tab. A nice chunk of you guys voted for this as the next tutorial. And it was the granny rectangular, the granny triangular shawl with added stitches. And so I did 3 rows of the granny stitch, a stabilizer, windows, a stabilizer. So, and this is what it looks like if you're just seeing it now for the first time. And I'm almost finished. I started this last night. So it works up very, very fast. And I have to tell you, I really enjoyed working with this hairy fuzzy yarn. It's so weird that I'm saying that because I really mentally don't like hairy or fuzzy yarn. But I wanted to push myself outside of my comfort zone because I'm encouraging people to do it. So I said, well, if I'm doing it, if I'm encouraging people, then I need to do it. So that's how this became a thing. And I need a name. So if you have a name suggestion, wantheyarnaddict@gmail.com, go ahead and submit your name suggestion. And then of course, I'll give you the shout out. I'll give you credit for coming up with the name if you so choose. And the unique thing about this is it's not perfectly triangular. I went ahead and made it more, I can't think of the word, but not so steep. Because I don't know about you, as I mentioned in the beginning, I don't like that point so steep. It just looks a little weird. So, yeah. As you can see, it's not so steep. So there you have it. All right. I can't wait to roll the tutorial out, but we just need a name because I can't put shawl out there, right? I can't just do shawl. Everyone will look around and be like, really, Juan? You couldn't think of anything outside of the word shawl? And the truth of the matter is my concentration is on stitches, stitch counts, and overall appearance, and not so much the name. And then here's my Pride shawl. This took 3 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre and Anthracite, and I pulled the colors from Stash. Now these are the standard Pride colors. I don't have the Progress colors on here, but if you decide to make this and you want to do a Pride shawl and you want to put those colors on there, by all means do whatever you want. I just could not add anything to this because it's huge. It is huge. So it is around 7 feet going this way and 4 feet something going down. So it is humongous. And I need a name suggestion for this. Originally, I had Points of Pride, and then the Pride Burrito. So anyway, you don't have to make it this big. I did because I'm 6.5 feet tall, and I wanted it for me. This is for me for Paco Taco Miss Morocco. Probably Paco or Taco. Miss Morocco, I mean, this will swallow her. I mean, this is 2 times her size. So, yeah. Anyway, once again, any and all name suggestions, go to wandtheyarnaddict@gmail.com and just submit that. And if I choose your name, I will give you the shout out and give you the credit for coming up with the name. Okay? So, and here's the other thing, and this is why I'm so hung up on it and why I didn't go with Points of Pride, because I want this to be able to be made like in any yarn. Like if you don't want to put the pride colors on this project and you want to use a yarn where you're running it all the way through as a solid, you know, Points of Pride wouldn't make sense to that. So yeah, I want the name to be just as versatile as the pattern. So there's tons of texture there. I have trebles, I have doubles, I have half double crochets. Yes, I like that. Choose joy. If you could, just shoot me the email and I'll put it on the list. Okay? That was so awesome. I'm so grateful that I was given the opportunity to show you guys these. So yeah, once I have names, guys, the tutorials will go out on the channel because the actual tutorial has been recorded for these projects. The only part that has not been recorded is the intro where I'm introducing the project because again, I don't have the name. So yeah, super excited about that. You can make a child's or a baby poncho. Absolutely. You can make a newborn poncho, right? And just do like a bib in the front, a bib in the back, join it on the sides. So yeah. Oh, so good. A doll poncho, right? It's like 2 little granny squares and you just attach them on the sides and that's it. Hi Debbie, welcome in. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really do appreciate that. And okay, so I'm noticing that we have a few more minutes before our hour is up. I do want to cover a few things with you guys. So in the last live, I mentioned that my 50K celebration was going to be done a little differently, and I'm just announcing it again. So if you missed the Sunday live, feel free to watch that back or listen in. So instead of using the random comment picker, I'm actually going to be writing down all of the kind comments that I'm finding in my videos. So we content creators have a studio page and we are given all of the comments in order that they're dropped, regardless of the video. We get to see all the comments that get put onto our channel. And what I'm doing is I'm going through those comments and I'm writing down all of the kind comments that I find and I'm putting them into a jar and I'm going to randomly choose for the 50K giveaway this coming Sunday. So it bears worth repeating. I know it's only Tuesday and you're probably going to hear me say this 2 or 3 more times, but kindness really does go a long way, guys, because you never know what a person is going through. Even us on this side of the camera, you have no idea what we go through on our day-to-day. And sometimes those kind comments can really make our day. And on several occasions, that has actually happened where I was having the absolute worst day. And I came onto my studio page and I read the comments and they were so warm and uplifting and kind that it actually made my day and it made it so that I was able to get through my day. So, you know, in light of that, I wanted to just press on forward and say to you guys that, yeah, kindness goes a long way. And if you want to win some of these prizes that I have for the 50K celebration, be kind, leave kind comments. It doesn't have to be directed towards me, maybe to someone else. I don't know. But kindness does go a long way. All right. It doesn't cost you a single thing to be kind, but it's the most valuable thing that you can give another person. So, you know, just take that for what it is. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like as long as we continue to be kind, we can continue to grow and thrive and be creative and help each other out and be the community that we want to be, you know? So anyway, Shannon, you have a great week as well. So that's pretty much all I have to share with that. So if you guys have any questions about that, the one other thing that I do want to add to that is, as I always say, you have to be publicly subscribed to my channel. Even though I'm not doing my checks, when I check your comment, I'm going to click to make sure that you're publicly subscribed. If you're not, thank you for the comment, but I can't put you in the jar. Okay? So, yeah. And Chi Chi Sweets, believe it or not, I have a Kindness Matters beanie. And I never really thought to make a shawl for it. So that's a really great suggestion. Maybe just shoot that over to the email so I can make a list. And I'm going to talk about that list in an upcoming podcast and just talk about some of the ideas that you guys send my way. So yeah, that would be really awesome. Mark, thank you. Have a great day. Yes, I'm at 974 videos, almost 1,000 videos. It's crazy. And I'm almost at 100 podcasts, episodes. So I think I'm at 93, just a handful left to go before we hit that big 100. And that's cause for celebration too. So just stick around. My voice is going. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. As always, it's been great. Stay tuned for more content this week. I do have a Whipping It with Juan coming out. I have a Coffee and Cake with Juan coming out, and all the things. So that is all from me for now, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Bye.